I did have the most wonderful parents. Didn't give me everything I asked for, nothing silly like that. But just there with fun and laughter, lots of love. And with them, of course, goes my lovely brother.
So you lived in Codsall in Marchmont House, quite a small village outside Wolverhampton. That's quite near Birmingham and Coventry, and they got a lot of bombs in the war.
Horrible. I still shiver when I hear the sound of those sirens. Never enjoy hearing that sound. Well, we had to run into the cellar, and apparently my father worked out a way of hanging my cot, my cradle, from the beams in the cellar, and that's how I spent my early days.
Do you have any memories of seeing the bombs dropping from a distance?
Lights coming down, flashing lights, I suppose that was bombs. In the distance you could see these lights coming down. It was over Coventry that way, and they got very badly bombed, but so did Wolverhampton.
After the war, your father took a job down in Cornwall as the chief engineer on the Selonian ferry going out from Penzance to the Scilly Isles every day.
Yes, it certainly was a lovely thing to do as well. I'm so glad we went. Oh, it was beautiful, Cornwall was. It was just beautiful and all free. We used to go down on the rocks and play. We lived in Mousehole for a little while till we settled. My parents bought a house in Madron, yes. Most days in the summer we'd come home from school and have some bun or something to eat, and then off we'd go to the beach. I mean, it was just lovely. I always wanted to do nursing. One reason being that I'd lived with a mother who was a nurse and used to talk about nursing, and so it just seemed quite natural for me to become a nurse. When I was a little girl, I used to line the dolls up and have bandages on their arms and legs. Just they were my patients. And the cat. The cat was also a patient at times, but she kept leaping out of the doll's pram, which wasn't a very good idea.
What did you do to the cat?
Well, just tried to make it lie down and look ill. Oh dear, he wasn't very happy. I even tried with the dog, wrapping up his paws, but he didn't like that either.
So you got accepted at the BRI.
Yes, I did. Yes, I'm very proud.
To do your training.
Being a nurse, I was very proud to be a nurse. You're dealing with life and death and all types of people. But we used to always say that when they're in bed, they're all the same. Irrespective of where they're from or what colour they are, they're people.
Now, you were awarded for being an excellent nurse. You won a silver medal at the end of your training, which is not to be sniffed at.
It was the biggest shock in my life up to that point, and I could not believe I'd achieved that.
You've got all your friends also nurses. What was Bristol like in the 60s? What was your life like?
The thing that was new was spaghetti bars, little cafes that sold spaghetti. And it was the only time you'd ever tasted spaghetti. Eating it and sucking it up and everything was not terribly ladylike, but we did our best. And we used to go out for coffees. Oh, we went to dances, that was the other thing, oh yes. And in Bristol there's the Corn Exchange. And there were other places where there were dances, the Vic Rooms and up on the Downs, whatever that one's called. Meet somebody and dance with them. Nothing elaborate, but it was good fun.
Many boyfriends, Mary?
Oh, I don't know what you call many. I had some nice boyfriends, but none of them was nice enough. I was very fussy. Though looking at my husband now, you might not think it. But he is a dear, and he was a dear, and he was special, and he was different. So I married him.
What was so good about Yatton Church for you as a family?
Well, it was alive. It was really alive, and the congregation was very mixed. Yes, a real church community with a father. The parish priest was, a lot of it was because of his wonderful leadership and love of his people, Dick Ackworth. And he did a wonderful job with all of us.
And then in the 1980s, you took on the role of church warden.
I was asked to do it, and what a privilege it was. But it did take a lot of my time away from home, but the family were wonderful, and especially Peter. He encouraged me in the work.
You were very involved in the Mothers' Union, being the leader at Yatton. You also had a leadership role for the whole diocese. You set up the mission group with overseas charities and the Child Contact Centre for parents who are getting divorced and needing access to their children. You did all of that. And your interest in helping charities overseas, why did you want to do that?
Well, you've got to, haven't you? When you see people even in this country having difficulty in surviving, what must it be like in some of the African countries and these other places? The more you hear about it, the more one wants to help. And I had the time and the energy, and so it was a good thing to be doing. We were supporting a parish in Zambia, and we built, well, a house was being built but never finished, so we came in and finished that, and a couple of water holes we did.
Why did you do that?
The women had to walk miles with buckets and all sorts of things on their heads, and the water, we saw the water, and it was just so dirty. It was a sort of pond, but on the middle of it, there was this beautiful flower like a lily, that sort of shape, in the middle of this quagmire, which was their drinking water. And when I saw that flower, being a bit, poetic, I suppose you could say, I thought there was hope. There was hope that we would help them get some water.
Which you did.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Looking back over your life so far,
Yes.
would you say that you've had
So far.
a happy life?
Oh, yes. Oh, I've had a happy life. I've had my moments of feeling sad, of course I have. But no, it's been very happy with wonderful children, wonderful husband, lovely home, simple. It didn't have to be such that you didn't dare touch anything in case you broke it, or we just had a free way of living, and lots of love. In my book, success is reaching a reasonable age and being happy with friends, being useful to society, just appreciating the beauty of the world around you. Just to enjoy what I've got, not to hanker after what I haven't got, and to just get on with the life that's left and to help as many people as I can to enjoy it with me.